guys. Hopefully you can hear me over the fan running here. So you can see my mess in here. First couple times the combine plugged, I brought it in the shed here to unplug it. All that green crap in there, that's what snubbed the cylinder. So, like I say, a lot of the problems with the combine and plugging were operator error. You know, and all my issues that I had were on the first round of the field. It took me 2-3 hours to get the first round done. Then after that, I just screw it. Instead of trying to cut it low, I raised it up so I was above the grass, you know. And then, you know, after I got all the adjustments set and everything, then I didn't have any more issues. But so you can see how much is in here. Off that 4.5 acres. It is a little warm down in there, and my pig farming buddy sent me home with this bin fan last night for putting in a grain bin. He seemed to think that just set it on top, blowing down in it would help. It is doing something. You can see my rafters are all covered in dust, but I don't know if it's really going to do enough. I'm sitting right here overnight. It is cooler down in there, but I think it's going to take a long time for air to get down to the bottom, so I am going to run the Fleet Farm, get that aeration tube and the aeration fan. That way I can get the tube down in the bottom, and it should be drawing air all the way through it then. What I'll probably end up doing is put that tube down in there and run it until tomorrow. And then tomorrow I might pull the gravity box out, put the 4020 to the mixer mill, take the screen out of the mill, and then just run the rye from the gravity box into the mill. And obviously I won't have the hammer mill running, I'll just have it so it flows through there. And then I'll turn the auger so I can run the rye out of the gravity box through the mill, and then I'll run it back into the gravity box, just stir it for a little bit, and then I'll put the fan back in. Maybe do that a time or two, just that way it's all dry. The seat itself I think is probably dry enough, but between all the grasshoppers that are in there, and that's the thing, in the bin, it did get whatever that taller weed is, that's about 5 foot tall. When it was combining, it would chop some of that up and then it would end up in the bin. But a lot of what I was seeing in there was actually grasshoppers. It wasn't even weeds. So it was actually cleaner than I was thinking. But regardless, it's not going to hurt if they have air on it for a couple days, and you know, just better to be safe than sorry. So I don't know, you guys saw how much is in a gravity box. I don't know, I'm guessing 140, 150 bushel in there, maybe more. So in my opinion, for planting 50 pounds the acre of seed and getting that much back off, but that's a pretty good deal. I mean, I left that with the idea was that it was going to be for seed to plant more, you know, plant more winter rye. Basically, I'm going to use that seed and plant that behind all my row crops, behind the corn, behind the beans, where the oats are over there. I'm going to plant it there. And my thinking with it is, yeah, it's going to be a cover crop, but what I'm going to attempt to do I'm going to try it on the rental ground first, and maybe on my corn and beans on the Northland. I come down here and grab something I left out here yesterday, and I thought of it when I was sleeping or laying in bed last night. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. What I'm going to attempt to do is let this winter rye grow, put fertilizer on it, and then I'm hoping, this is what I'm after, my tree planter that I built out of a splitting wedge. This is what I used to turn the cylinder back when I plugged it. And you can see the last time I unplugged it, I unplugged it right there. Anyhow, my goal is fertilize it, try and get the winter rye to grow. Hopefully I can cut it for hay. And then, you know, early enough that I can still get the corn and beans in, you know, in a timely fashion. And if it all works, I might do that on more ground the following year. If I can get enough hay doing that way, I'm not going to have as much hay ground. I'll raise more corn and beans. It'll almost be like double cropping. That way, you know, try and make more, get more income off what I already have instead of trying to find more land to rent. It's getting hard to find more land. I'm always looking, but there's a couple very large dairy farms around here that, you know, over 1,000 cows, and them guys will pay big bucks for land rent because they have to have places for the manure to go, and they need to feed. And that's like that 60-acre field across the road there. That's a big dairy down the road, and I don't know what they pay for rent, but it's more than the average Joe can afford. So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind why I left this winter rye grow instead of just spraying it this spring and planting corn or beans into it. So that's kind of what I'm going to attempt to do. And of course, you guys will see the progress of it because I'll record it all. But now on this, like I say, I only planted 50 pounds to the acre, and I think it would have been better if I would have doubled that or even tripled it. I guess I really don't know. Nobody has ever really told me what a recommended planting rate is for winter rye. You know, a lot of guys say, oh, it's 3 bushel the acre. Well, off the top of my head, I could have swore that winter rye is 60 pounds per bushel, and I planted 50 pounds per acre. And if we're saying that, just figure 30 bushel per acre I got off this. Here I am holding the camera with my left hand again. Oh, 30 times 60. You can see that. About 1,800 pounds per acre of seed I got off there. Well, you know, if I took, well, even just 60 times 2 is 120. 1 acre of this should plant about 15 acres if I plant 120 pounds the acre. So there's a lot of seed here that can cover a lot of ground. And I have 16 over on the rental ground over where the oats are, and then my other field up there is 17 acres across that road. Then you've got this 4.5 acres, and you got that 10 acres. It'll plant all of that, plus where I've been thinning in the woods, I want to take whatever seed I have left over and go sprinkle up in the woods, because in the woods back there, I don't know if you can kind of see, there's winter rye growing back in those woods. There was winter rye in there. The deer pretty much flattened it all out now, but if I can't get grass to grow in the woods, at least if I can start by getting the winter rye to grow, there's something there for the cows to eat while grass is getting established. And I've had really good luck with winter rye and medium red clover. I don't know what the deal is with the two of them, but man, they sure go good together. So if nothing else, if I can get the winter rye to grow and then get, you know, red clover plant out in the woods with some other grasses, might be one good way to get, you know, get forage in the meantime while there's getting other forages established in the woods. So that's kind of a little bit of rambling about what's going on here. So if any of you have any comments or suggestions or input or anything, feel free to let me know. And I am going to end this video because I am going to run to town and get that aeration fan and tube so I can get it in this rye right away. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.